Hey, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to be breaking down this run on Facebook, talking about how we caught the best, literally the best entry possible, and how we managed to trade on the way up. So let's begin with why Facebook even made the watch list in the first place. We're going to go to the daily chart time frame. You see it's pretty beaten up from the different earnings drops. Recently it gapped up from earnings, though it didn't drop. So we had a gap up on Facebook, but you're looking at this and you're like, it hasn't really gone anywhere since the gap up, right? It's been consolidating. So the 5-day, 5-minute time frame shows us that the gap is below, what is this, 193, 194 area. And our resistance roughly is around $212, just given this one peak right there. 210 to 212 is our resistance area. So going on over the Facebook trade today, I really didn't have a bias. I didn't have a bias on where the market was going to go. You know, I told the team in the morning, I said that today's going to be a good day to just stay patient and see what the market is giving to us as far as direction goes. Typically Mondays, that's the way that you want to be, is neutral on your positions. You don't want to have a bearish bias or bullish bias pretty much any day, but especially on Mondays. So we wanted to see where the money was going to flow and what was going to happen. SPY opened up and went immediately red, right? So SPY opened up and went red, was making new lows of day. It came down to our short trigger, which was at 409, and then started to do something interesting, which was begin to bounce in this area. But the whole time that SPY was falling, if we're looking at the Facebook 5-minute time frame, Facebook was holding support. So let's break down a few different levels on the watch list. Initially, I said, let me get over here and I'll show you. On the day trade watch list, initially I said Facebook is a long at 204 with a short below 196. All right, long at 204, short below 196. So 196, you know, obviously if it was making new lows, it was potentially entering into the gap area. That's why that short trigger was set there. But the long at 204. We're using the 5-day, 5-minute time frame to identify support and resistance. Well, we already said that resistance was up here at around 210 to 212, right? That's your overhead resistance. But how can we split this consolidation into finding a trigger level and understanding that we were opening up below this 204 level? What I did was I just used the price action from a previous day to see, you know, hey, we've got a lot of consolidation around this 204 mark. And when it broke out, look where it pulled back before bouncing. And then when it broke below, look where it pulled back to before rejecting. So 204 definitely had some interest around that level. So our long idea today on Facebook was a long over 204. Now, this is where it gets interesting because I'm going to switch this to the 1-minute time frame. Remember that I said SPY had opened up and started to go immediately red, right? SPY was putting in a new low of day. Facebook was not doing that. Facebook was not following the overall market. It went green and came back with SPY, pulled back with SPY, but it was not putting in a low of day. So two very, very important things here. Number one, Facebook was holding up. It was showing relative strength. Why was it showing relative strength? These are the 2 points I want to make. The previous day's closing price, that green line right there, was validating as a point of support as shown by these 4 candles here. Okay, previous day's close, I've mentioned this on Instagram Reels. If you've ever taken any training classes with me, previous day's close is something very, very important to pay attention to. So that's number one, right? Previous day's close was validating as a point of support. Number two is Facebook was holding 200, the whole number, as a point of support as well. Right? So not only was it holding the PDC as support, but it was also holding 200 as support. On top of that, it was showing relative strength against the market. So as the market was coming down, Facebook was holding up. Facebook was not coming down. So the moment that we started to see some green on Facebook, as it was breaking this consolidation here, these 3 candles, as it was breaking this consolidation to the top side, I mentioned to the team, look, we can go long on Facebook right here. I know it's not breaking 204, but this is enough confirmation. That's all that we need with a stop loss placed at 201. So we actually moved our stop loss from 200 up to the intraday support point, which was, at this time, 201. So it was a low risk play, really. We had a very clear stop out. We had a defined stop out with the potential for a high reward. So low risk, high reward. We had confirmation. Holding the previous day's close as support, holding the 200 hold number as support, showing relative strength. All right, so I'm going to go over to the Discord server and just show you exactly where that was called out. The time-stamped entry was right here. So actually, Mitch called this before I did. Mitch was on it today. He was calling a lot of plays before I was even able to type it out. But he's absolutely right. Facebook was strong against that earnings, the ES drop, /ES drop, showing relative strength, right? And I agreed. Facebook showing relative strength, yes. Look for this to continue to hold 200. That was at 37, at the 37-minute mark. Literally 1 minute later, I go, Facebook, we can take this long. I give you the contracts. I give you the stop loss at 201, right? So that was 1 minute later at the 38-minute mark. If we just timestamp this, the 38-minute mark right here, right on this candle. So even if you got in at the very top of this candle, you really should not have been significantly red on this position or red at all on this position because it never came down. And it's super easy to manage a trade when you're green the entire time. So we had the best entry on Facebook. You could argue that, yeah, maybe, we would have got a better entry if we entered long off 201, but you don't have support down there. You'd be guessing at that point. So we wait for the break of the consolidation, market buy into this break for this run up into the high of day. Those contracts ran quite a bit. So they did run all the way up to, I think they're even beyond that now. Maybe not. It did hit high of day and pull back. But they did. They ran about 80% there. So, we were just managing the trade. Facebook high of day contracts now at 615 should be up about 10% depending on your entry. Facebook contracts now at 650 for 20%. And then you move your stop loss up. So as the stock is moving up, we're going to move our stop loss. Originally, our stop was down here at 201, but as we're up 20%, there's no reason to keep a stop at 201. We're going to trail stop this up. So we moved our stop up to 203, right? And then I said Facebook again, now at 7.0, the contracts for 30%. Facebook now at 7.5 for 40%. Can remove your stop up to 206. So again, just trail stopping this up to 206. And this is a good level because it's actually where it bounced off of this bull flag breakout right there. So that would have been a nice level to go back in on Facebook at. But this was the run that we caught right here, this initial run. So important takeaways from this. Use the previous day's close as a potential point of support / resistance, in this case, support. Use whole numbers as a potential point of support and resistance, aka 200, in this case, potential point of support. Use previous catalysts for a reasoning why the stock can make a directional move. In this case, the previous catalyst was the recent earnings report. That's what caused this gap up here in the first place. I also want to put this out. I am starting a $5,000 challenge on May 16th by popular request. I did this challenge once before last year. I actually started it on May 14th, I believe. And in 4.5 months, I was able to run that $5,000 up to $100,000. And I'm looking to do the same thing again this year, except I'm going to have to go a little further than $100,000. I'm looking for a profit target of $250,000. So it's going to be a $5,000 challenge to an Audi R8. That's my dream car. I've always wanted that car. And I think that I can definitely get that account to that price point. But I'll be starting with $5,000 just to show everybody what is possible with consistent discipline. So I will only be trading my watch lists that I put out. Anything that I put out on my watch list, that's what I'll be trading. I'll be sticking to that 100%. I will be trading my watch list in accordance with these watch list training rules that I have in my Discord server. So if you want to be a part of this challenge, or if you want to follow along, then feel free. If you want to join in on the Discord server and keep up with it, the link to that's going to be in the description here. It's going to be a good time. It may take me a little longer than 4.5 months, but we will get there. I am very, very certain of that. Okay, Thank you for your time. I hope that this video has helped you out. Press the like button for me. If you enjoyed the video, I'm back on my YouTube grind. Comment down below if you're going to join the challenge, or if you think I should start with 5,000, or if you think I should start with 1,000. I know a lot of people have been asking for 1,000. So let's take a vote, actually. Vote below if you want me to start with 5,000 or if you want me to start with 1,000. I feel 1,000 is a little bit grindy, but if we get enough votes for that, I'll start with a lower amount. Why not? I'm not in a rush, right? This is just about implementing the rules that I teach within my Discord server and maintaining consistent discipline. Okay, take care. Rewatch this video if you have to. I hope that you took some notes, and I'll see you all in chat. Later.